if you have the polls here that are saying that most young people would fight if they were called upon, and yet most people don't respect the military, right? Because we all have people that we've met who spent 1 year cleaning toilets, right? Or, I met an anti-tank gunner who had served for a year and he never fired a single round. And I know people who have used that U.S. weapon system in the U.S. and like, yeah, you can't use that if you haven't practiced, right? Like, you can do a lot with simulation, you could do a lot with, right? But if you haven't fired it at least 6 or 8 times, you can't use it. You're not going to be able to use it in the heat of battle, right? So there's something wrong in the military if people don't go in for a year or two and come out with, like, they should be coming out with some meaningful, let's call it professional skill, right, that's recognized from the outside, right, rather than being like, okay, you did a year of service, it's like an extra year of college sort of thing, and like, okay, like it should move the needle on someone's desirability as an employee, or, right, because people recognize that, you serve, therefore you have a certain kind of discipline, or you have a certain kind of attitude towards getting things done, right? So that to me is probably the most important thing. How do you bring the young people would fight in line with respect for the institution? And that means that the institutions have to change quite a bit, right? I think if you want to know more about that, I'd recommend talking to, for example, the Taiwanese who have gone to the U.S. military academies, because my understanding is that they've had a fairly negative, like after being trained at the U.S. service academies and then going back and like joining the Taiwan military as officers, they've had a very negative view of a lot of what's taking place around them based on that.